What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly swing list for the week of November 21st. I put these videos out for you guys every week. I put out daily watch lists for you guys for free every single day. So make sure you're subscribing and hitting that bell. That bell will send out the notifications for when these videos actually go out. So like I said, today we're going to go through the weekly swing watch list. A couple things before we start. The screen that you see, this is TradingView. I use TradingView all the time to chart everything that I do. Now, if you're looking for something like this, I have a link in the description below. That link will give you a free 30-day trial to the subscription-based services on TradingView. Free for 30 days, no obligation. You go down, you click that link, and then you get your free 30-day trial. And then if you decide to actually use one of their subscription services, you get up to $30 off of that subscription service. So make sure you go check out that link. You can find me in my Discord, Griswold Trading Discord. That link is in the description below. And everything that I offer you guys for free or fee-based is in that room. So that room is 95% free. There is a Griswold Gold paid membership where I put out top 5 for the weekly swings, top 5 every day for the day setups. I've got live trading bots in there to send out trades live throughout the day for you guys to jump into. Ad-free YouTube videos, one-on-ones with myself that you can partake in, group chats with myself and the rest of the Griswold Gold members, and a bunch of other really great things, so make sure you go check that out. Let's go through this list. I'm going to start with Airbnb, and again, I'm doing this after Monday market close, so yes, some of them may have triggered already. I couldn't get it done last night or on the weekend, so unfortunately this is what we had, but we can go through and take a look at them anyways. Airbnb was the first one on the list. So Airbnb, we were looking for a 2 down. We were looking for to break this pink line. So we had a 2 up that finished red. So this candlestick number here, you can see down below. That's part of the Griswold Strat indicator that I created. That's part of the gold membership as well, or you can buy it separately down below. So this time frame continuity is showing here all to the downside, because we broke to the downside off of this pink bar. So we were looking for a trigger at 96.60, and we hit that. And we didn't quite hit first targets today, but this is something that if you jumped in, you could still be in currently. AFRM, again, we had a 2 up that finished red. We gapped down, so you could still look at this as a potential play to the downside on AFRM. We currently have broken through that trigger. So if you're looking to jump in now, I'm not sure if it's something I would do, but it's still possible that we still hit these targets as we gapped below this original trigger. And again, full time frame continuity to the downside on AFRM. AMC, here's another one that triggered to the downside already. We had a 2 up that finished red last week, and we were looking for a 2 down to finish red this week. We've got that already. So we'll see how this continues to play out. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we re-trigger this line later in the week, tomorrow or Wednesday, this is something that you guys can still jump in on, okay? Adobe, again, same thing. We've gone 2 down red on this thing already. So, again, this play has already taken place. I really wish I would have got these plays out to you guys earlier. But make sure you're checking out the next week's as well, because we'll do the same thing. Okay, so Adobe had a chance to break through that trigger this week, and it has already. That one was looking good. AMD. Okay, so guys, here's one that hasn't broken yet. We had a 2 up that finished red yesterday, meaning we only broke the high side of the previous candle, but we didn't finish green like this candle. We finished red. So that gives me higher probability that this is going to trend down. Now, we are currently still sitting inside bar on the week, as you can see here. So we are still looking for this to trigger on AMD. So if we trigger at $70.16, we can look for puts on this. And you can look for puts at, $69, $68 strike prices. And my expiry for the weekly swings, I get 2 weeks out. So not this Friday coming up, but the following Friday, okay? And actually, Thursday is a U.S. holiday. Friday, I think the market closes early, just as a heads up. Okay, so we go to Amazon. Amazon also had a 2 up red. We've triggered to the downside, and we're sitting right on that trigger again. Full time frame continuity to the downside. So if we re-trigger on Tuesday, Amazon is something that you guys can jump in on again. Okay. BA, that's Boeing Company, had an inside bar last week. We are still sitting currently inside bar on Boeing. So we're going to look for this to trend up or down. We'll see how it plays. This is still a play that's possible for you guys on your weekly swings. Citibank, same thing. We had an inside bar. We're looking to break out of this inside bar here now. So again, we can look for calls at 50.42, puts at 47.40, and we haven't broken out of that inside bar. So this candle, this second inside bar, is the one we're looking to break to the high side or the low side. And I go through inside bars all the time, guys, but I'll refresh you really quick. An inside bar, like you see here, does not break the high and it does not break the low of the previous candle. It stays within the range. It's a consolidating range. And you notice how this bar is yellow. That's part of the indicator that I've created for you guys. So that indicator includes this time frame continuity, includes the inside bars painted yellow, includes the outside bars painted white. These little IB tabs and OB tabs are included. The candlestick numbers are included, and Sarah Strat Sniper's 50% rule is included. Now, I always tell people if you're struggling with trades, if you're struggling with the strategy, stick to inside bars. Look at what happens off these inside bars. Boom, big drive to the downside. Inside bar, boom, big drive to the upside. Okay, and it doesn't always happen that way, but probabilities tell us that it's very likely that it does. Here's one that gapped up and then trended back down to the other side. So that one didn't work, but here's another one, okay? Trended down, boom, to the downside. Another one, boom, to the downside. Okay, so probability-wise, this is what we want to look for if you're struggling, if you're new, if you want to concentrate on one thing. The inside bars are what you want to concentrate on. So on Citigroup, we're going to look for a break of the high or the low of this inside bar right there. As we go into CAT, CAT had a 2-up red. I was looking for this to trend down. Right now, we've got full time frame continuity to the upside. But let's still look for this trigger to the downside. Puts at 225.51 on CAT. We'll go to CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines. This one has triggered, but just barely. Okay, so we had a 2-up red last week. We're going to look for this to break through this trigger again later in the week. So pay attention to CCL. We still have opportunity there. D-Dog, 2-up red. And most of these plays, guys, were 2-up reds. And we were looking for this to trend back to the downside. So we've broken this trigger on D-Dog already. We've got full time frame continuity. So if I don't do a review of this stuff, guys, make sure you come back to this video and these plays, write these plays down and see how they would have played out in actuality. And you'll see the majority of times this stuff is going to work for you guys. Okay, here's CRM with another one. We broke the trigger already. We've got time frame on our side to the downside. So that one is already in force, meaning we've broken the trigger. We are already in play. Walt Disney had the inside bar. We broke to the upside. We're going to look to hit these targets now on Disney. Okay, there's another one. It already triggered. DocuSign. This one gapped down as well. Broke through the trigger full time frame continuity to the downside on DocuSign. We move on to Etsy. Etsy. This one we were looking for a trigger to the downside. We broke it and then came back up through. So again, on Etsy, if we break through this trigger again later on in the week, it's something you guys can jump into again on ETSY. Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company still sitting inside bar off of the existing inside bar. So we'll look for a break either tomorrow or Wednesday off of these two pink lines here. We're going to look for puts at 13.55, calls at 14.58. And again, 2 weeks expiry on these things, guys. That's what I'm looking for. And if you want to get limit orders, I don't mind getting limit orders on these things because you're actually playing these on a longer time frame. So if the spread between the bid and the ask is a little bit wide, this is the one time I would allow, or I would use a limit order to get into this trade. Okay, General Electric, 2-up red. We're still looking for this to trend down. It hasn't broken the trigger that we were looking at 83.21 for puts. Okay, guys, if you like this stuff and you find it interesting and it's helping you out, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay, it's important to click that bell as well. Like I said, it sends out notifications for when I send these videos out. iShares, IWM, also had a 2-up red. So we're looking for puts on this one as well. Puts at 180.51 is our trigger price. Strike price, you can look at 180, 179 in that range, looking to break out of this inside bar that's currently on the week. JP Morgan had an inside bar. So this one hasn't broken out yet. Calls at 135.73, puts at 131.28 on JPM. Lululemon had an inside bar. We broke and we've reversed since then. So again, if we re-trigger to the downside, you can look at this as puts. And here's another thing I'll show you. If you go into here, you have the Griswold Strat indicator. You click on settings. Show previous D 50% lines. That's the day. This is the week. This is the month. So we can show the previous week 50% marker. It's in a purple line. There it is. If we break through this, we can look for an outside bar on Lululemon. That's how that 50% rule works out. Okay, that 50% is also part of the indicator. Okay, here's another one that I gave out. This was also on our daily setups, and I said I'll tell you this was on our top fives for our watch list for our day trades. The Griswold Gold members get those top fives. If you would have played this, guys, you would have made a lot of money on Lucid today off of this inside bar break, whether you played it on the weekly or you played it on the daily. Full time frame continuity to the downside. We've broken through the trigger. We've hit first targets already. This was a dynamite play. You could have been out of that even for the weekly swings already. Lyft. I believe this was on the day trade setups as well, top fives. So Lyft has an inside bar last week, and we've broken to the downside of that. I know it's really hard to see. I just about missed it. This is the bar right here. Okay, so we've broken to the downside, and we're sitting right on that trigger line again. So if Tuesday we open up and we continue to trend down with the time frame continuity, Lyft is another thing that we can look to jump into, and you can look to hit targets here at the 1057 mark. Okay. MS, that's Morgan Stanley, 2 up red, still currently sitting inside bar. We're going to look for puts on this one at 87.51. Microsoft had an inside bar last week. We are still inside bar this week, looking to break out of these 2 pink lines. So calls to the upside at 247, puts to the downside at 237.63. MU, 2 up red last week, currently sitting inside bar this week. So we're looking for puts on this at 56.51. Here's the numbers that I'm calling out on the right-hand side. That pink number, that correlates to this pink line. So trigger at 56.51, strike price, 56, 55, 54 is probably too far out for me. This is our first target right here. Okay, bottom of this green triangle, or green candle triangle. Neo was trading on an inside bar last week. We've broken to the downside of it already. So again, if we re-trigger to the downside here, it's a good play for puts. If we start crossing up here through this purple line, I would start looking at the 50% rule on the weeklies for Neo, okay? PayPal had a 2 up red. We broke our trigger, full time frame continuity to the downside. So PayPal would have been a good swing trade as well. QQQ had a 2 up red. We are currently still sitting inside bar on QQQ. So we're going to look for it to trigger to the downside, 280.72 on QQQ. Roblox had an inside bar. Traded through our trigger and actually hit first targets. And we were sitting at that first target line. So we open up on Tuesday and we have a 2-2 continuation. We have full time frame continuity. Roblox is still something that you could probably jump into for a weekly swing. SPY stuck on an inside bar on the week. Looks like we broke out of it on the daily inside. 2 up red last week. We are looking to go 2 down on the week this week. Puts at 390.14. Your strike price can be 387, 386, somewhere in that range. Get it 2 weeks out. Visa. I feel like I was looking for a continuation on Visa here. Because I thought we had time frame continuity. I don't really remember why I had Visa on here, but we can look for this to break back to the upside. We can look for calls at 214.17. See if we can tag the top of this broadening formation on Visa. Okay, we go to XEL. XEL had a 3-1 setup, and again, we just triggered to the upside barely. We've got full time frame continuity. If we break through this trigger again on Tuesday morning, this is something that we can jump back into for a weekly swing. Okay, XOM had this inside bar 3-1 setup actually. And 3-1 setups are rare. If we go back again and look, that gold highlight you see there is another part of the Griswold Strat indicator that I created for you guys. Excuse me. And we go back, we had outside bar, inside bar, and a big run down. Let's zoom in just so I can show you that, and then we'll head back to the actual trade. But outside bar, inside bar, down. Okay, one more here. Outside bar, inside bar, run up. Okay, so these happened back in February of 2019. That's how far back we had to go because they don't happen very often. They're very, very rare, and they're a very powerful setup. So we look to play these. So again, off of ExxonMobil, okay, we kind of hovered around the top of this broadening formation, sitting on this inside bar, and now we are trending back down. So if we re-trigger, you can get in for puts. If we come up through this 50% line, you can look for calls on the weekly swings on XOM. XLU, same thing, 3-1 setup. We have time frame continuity in our favor outside of the year. We've triggered to the upside already. We've come through that trigger. So again, if we have a continuation on the day on Tuesday, this is something that we can look to continue for a weekly swing on XLU. XLV, same idea. We had this inside bar hammer candle. So we know that the Strat's actionable signals are hammer candles, which is this body with this big long wick, inside bars, which you see here, doesn't break the high, doesn't break the low of the previous candle, and a shooter candle, which is actually the opposite of what we see here, where the body's on the bottom and the wick's on the top. That's a bearish pattern. So we have two actionable signals here, an inside bar and a hammer candle, and we've broken through that trigger already to go 2 up on the week. Now again, if we re-trigger, XLV is something that you guys can also jump back into. Guys, again, if you like this stuff, make sure you give me a thumbs up down below. I appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going to change the way that you guys trade. We are going to make you successful. We are going to make you more confident and more profitable. If you need extra help, there's the Discord. If you need extra help on top of that, there's the Griswold Gold membership. But that Griswold Gold membership gives you more than just the extra help. It gives you live trading bots throughout the day on SPY, QQQ, CCL, Ford, Disney, a bunch of ones, DIA. Okay, gives you the setups as they happen, and you just need to go to the charts and make sure it's something you want to jump in on. But it gives you setups on the 5, 15, 30, 1 hour charts throughout the day, every trading day. It gives you this Strat indicator, one-on-ones with myself, guys. It says 15 minutes, but I will give you guys as much time as you need on those one-on-ones, okay? So book one if you need help. And that's the swing list, guys. I'm sorry it got out late. There are still a bunch of plays for you guys to jump in on, so make sure you're looking at them, seeing if it's something that fits your trading. I wish you nothing but the best this week. Make sure you're checking out the daily watch list that I put out every day. At the end of this video, top right-hand corner, I'm going to show you how to play gaps when the morning gaps happen. The bottom right is going to show you even more stuff about the Strat to help you guys in your trading journey. Good luck, and we will see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.